In other news at this hour, the newly formed trilateral security agreement between the United States, Australia and the United Kingdom has now created a global rift with France. The AUKUS deal, which was announced on Thursday, has left France enraged. France has expressed its fury over Australia's surprise decision to scrap a huge submarines deal in favor of nuclear-powered submarines from the US by calling it a stab in the back. In an effort to contain the growing dispute, U.S. State Department spokesperson Ned Price said that Washington will try to discuss the issue with France at the United Nations General Assembly next week. This is only the second time the United States has agreed to share its capability of building nuclear-powered submarines with another country. The other nation that has benefited in the past is the UK, which is also part of the current security pact. France's reaction to the AUKUS deal has been loud and clear. France has recalled its ambassadors from Australia and the US to convey its anger over the sudden deal that saw Paris lose a multi-billion-dollar submarine contract, while France and US had been at odds at multiple occasions, including over the 2003 Iraq War. Paris has never removed its envoy to Washington. This is perhaps the first time that France has gone this far and removed its official envoy to show its displeasure. France, meanwhile, also called off an event at its ambassador's house in Washington. The event was supposed to celebrate the anniversary of a decisive naval battle in the American Revolution, in which France played a key role. The AUKUS deal is largely being seen as an alliance that can curtail China's growing aggression in the South China Sea. These high-tech nuclear-powered submarines will give Australia the naval capability to conduct operations in the larger Pacific region, including the South China Sea. Well, our correspondent Susan Teherani sent us this report. Listen in.
A decision made by President Emmanuel Macron himself. France announced on Friday that it's recalling its ambassadors from the United States and Australia in protest of President Biden's announcement of an agreement to provide nuclear-powered submarines to Australia. France lost a lucrative submarine deal with Australia and feels left out of the Indo-Pacific region as a result, despite U.S. assurances that that's not the case. But ultimately, Australia decided to go with a nuclear-powered submarine from the United States and not a diesel-powered one from France. Hence, this is where we are right now. But regardless of the details, what may end up being a temporary tension between allies really signifies the balancing act the United States needs to maintain between its Pacific and Atlantic alliances, geostrategically and otherwise, and whether or not this administration will be able to do that. Susan Teherani reporting from New York for WION. World is One.